Top Amazon sellers are deleting their listings right now, this month, and the reason may surprise you. But it also might be the best move for your business because in the past 12 months, it has become more difficult than ever to grow and scale on Amazon. However, there's a new way to profitable Amazon sales, and it will drive upward of $100 million for my clients this year. But it is a radical shift from the way things used to be done. And getting this wrong could be the reason you're waking up to no new sales on Amazon. Here's why. Veteran Amazon sellers would tell you that the way to dominate on Amazon was to own more and more Amazon real estate. And they're right, sort of. In the old days, you may have heard that you had to have 20 Amazon listings to get real traffic and to dominate page one of Amazon. Or maybe you heard that once you hit 50 listings, you'll start selling more daily. But right now, I have so many Amazon sellers reaching out to me for help, and sadly, I see most of them chasing down the wrong targets or simply focusing on bad goals that will never move them towards massive sales. So today, I'm going to give it to you straight and simple. And if you're drowning in unprofitable Amazon listings, I'm going to show you a simple 3-step process to turn your Amazon business around. I'll also give you the 3 things that you should be focusing on in the next 3 months in order to grow your Amazon sales and expand your territory on the platform. But right now, I'm going to share with you some quick stats from actual Amazon sellers showing you exactly how many listings they have and how much money they make. Because Bill, one of my clients, is actually doing over $200,000 a month with only 2 listings. And David, one of my clients in the outdoor space, scaled up by a whopping $1.4 million, and he has only 1 listing with 3 variations. Yes, these are very specialized products, but what I'm about to show you works with sellers of 100 SKUs as well, because Antonio had a few more listings, like 100 plus in clothing. But what we did was to narrow the focus to only a select few, 5 in all. And that narrowed focus grew their business by 1,139% in just 3 months. And it drove 7 figures in new Amazon sales. And on a smaller scale, Cold Cutter grew by 25,000%, but it only had 3 listings. And those listings were for screws of all things. And I can say that after working on over 2,500 Amazon listings, that listing count does not matter as much as having a certain kind of Amazon listing. Now recently I've had so many Amazon sellers who come to me and said, my Amazon store is just not working. And sometimes they have scores of listings and a dozen others ready to launch, but they're not yet profitable on Amazon. And what I find is a marketing mix that is all over the place. So let me break down the 3-step process to turn your Amazon business around. Because with sellers who are lost in the woods, they often think, hey, I just need to sell more products. So my question to you is what you're currently doing working? And if you keep trying the same ways, will that suddenly make your listings profitable? When we put it like this, we all know the answer. So my plea here is that if nothing is working, then please stop cranking out listings and focus on a few or maybe just one single product. Because what so many Amazon sellers don't know is that bad listings that don't convert are actually punished with less traffic. Look, Amazon won't send shoppers to listings where they're not going to purchase something. And that makes success even harder because the Amazon algorithm knows your conversion rate. Now, we've talked about conversion rates a little bit on this channel, but on Amazon, it's not called conversion rate. Instead, the conversion rate is measured by looking at your unit session percentage, like this here. This is basically how Amazon looks at your listings. Now, yes, when a new listing is launched, there is a grace period of a few weeks where Amazon does not look at your conversion rates at all. In fact, during this grace period, Amazon will even send some free traffic your way in good faith. However, when those unit session percentage numbers start rolling in, you're now competing against other Amazon listings as well as their unit session percentages. The bottom line is that sellers with good unit session percentages are placed higher in the search than others. And what that means is that when you get no sales during this grace period, Amazon stops sending traffic to your listings. In fact, they kind of just lock you out. Now, what happens if you keep cranking out new listings? Well, Over time, instead of having a few listings that don't perform, now you have a whole account that doesn't perform, which ends up tanking your whole business. This basically means that Amazon sees you as either not targeting the right customers or not being a good enough fit to convert any of that traffic you get, and they assume that you're simply undesirable. And then to compound the problem, when your store is filled with undesirable listings, that's when Amazon gives your account the stink eye. And then any new listing that you create, even if it's really, really good, will automatically suffer more than a new seller with a neutral quality score. So essentially, you're at an immediate disadvantage with any new listings. So make sure that any listing taking up real estate in your Amazon account is paying rent with traffic and sales. If it's not paying rent, you need to either change it or kick it out. So I'm going to give you 3 things to focus on that are far more important than listing count. Number 1, customer-centric marketing that targets profitable shoppers instead of product-centric marketing that describes the product itself. Now, this is done in SEO, in copy, and image design. So it's all about getting your product in front of people who have strong buying intentions, because that's what's going to give your listing a higher conversion rate. And yes, SEO and conversion rate are highly connected. But if you don't have the right SEO to get in front of the right customers, you're wasting both your advertising and your SEO efforts on people who have no intention of buying to begin with. Then your traffic is going to be low quality and it's going to tank your ranking for that keyword. But SEO, when done right, is responsible for getting you the highest quality traffic with buying intentions. That's why we create customer-centric SEO that leads to a stronger conversion rate, which then leads to a higher overall ranking and an improvement to our Amazon account quality score. All right, the second important thing that you should focus on instead of listing count is product market fit. Listen, there's really no excuse for not having a product market fit. Amazon is literally giving you clues everywhere you look, and you can do this for free with just a tiny bit of elbow grease. I have a whole training that goes over all of this in detail. I'll link to that in the description and in the pinned comment. That training gives you everything you need to 2x or 10x your sales growth in weeks and not years. It's all part of my mission to help 1,000 people sell $100,000 on Amazon by giving away everything you need for free. But remember, success loves speed. So on Amazon, you're trying to build momentum. And that means we cannot just sit back and wait for people to come and maybe find us. But what if you don't have any paying customers right now? Then paid ads is a great way to get momentum quickly. So the objective is to use paid ads aggressively, but also wisely. To do that, we need to establish quickly if there is a product market fit. That training I mentioned will show you how to do this step by step. However, we don't need to just rely on paid ads. We also need to establish a product market fit with your wording and your images and your videos and your outreach strategy. All of these things need the right product market fit to win in the search results. And the third thing we prioritize above listing count is giving these listings different purposes. Listen, Amazon wants you to do things in a certain way because they have a brand that they need to protect. So Amazon ultimately wants to keep shoppers happy and then give more profit to the Amazon shareholders. But sadly, that means that Amazon doesn't give 2 swipes about your business or your profit. So we need to fight to customize Amazon for our business needs. We can't expect that what Amazon hands us to just work right off the shelf. It takes focused effort, and we do that through a layering framework. Because right now there are 37 layers that you can use to customize Amazon to your goals and your desires. But Amazon is launching new layers every month or 2. And as a general rule, it's much better to grab one new layer and put it into play than it is to have 1,000 listings. Like we did with Layla Luna, instead of focusing on hundreds of SKUs, we selected only 5 SKUs and then added new layers to those 5 products. And the results showed in the growth. And it's really about having different layers, each with different purposes. And I'm not talking about just adding some PPC or a new photo to your image stack. That's too broad and far too basic. Instead, we're doing things like targeting hand-picked product targets on Amazon. Here's what I mean. We're showing up on other people's listings using ASIN targeted ads. But it's not just a pay and pray situation. Nah, we're actually hand-picking these targets because when we do, we get an 8x ROAS, or like this one, we got a 32x ROAS for this client by setting up their booty band on this listing. And if you look closely, this target has absolutely nothing to do with booty bands, and 32x ROAS is insane. In other words, instead of setting up broadly with basic Amazon ads, we have laser-focused intensity by placing specific ads on specific pages. And let me say, the whole idea here is not to make huge, mammoth changes, but rather go for smaller 1% improvements across multiple layers. That way, when you add 2 or 10 of these smaller changes together, you'll actually increase your order velocity, which will elevate the ranking of your listing and start to build your whole account. It's like having a huge flywheel effect that keeps spinning up and up faster and faster until it becomes nearly unstoppable. But it's done layer by layer. Some layers scale your click-through rates, which gets shoppers onto your listing. Other layers are meant to scale your unit session percentages, which just makes Amazon love you. Other layers are meant to increase your average order value, so your margins get better and better with the exact same traffic you already have. That way we're not losing money. And we're establishing that product market fit before going willy-nilly and cranking out hundreds of new listings. In fact, any listing that does not respond to these layers, we just kill it and give those resources to the winners. Kill the losers, feed the winners. That's why top sellers are deleting their listings. But here's a big mistake that I see too many sellers make, and they just slap up new listings, no layering, no strategy, just hoping something sticks. And then they wonder why their ACoS is sky high and their conversion rate is in the tank and their margins are tighter than Amazon's return policy. Listen, the top Amazon sellers aren't playing that game. So if you're tired of wasting time and money on listings that don't perform, I've created this video right here. In that, I'll show you exactly how to build these layers from the ground up, how to attract clicks, convert shoppers like crazy, and make the Amazon algorithm love your products. No more guessing, no more wasted ad spend, just a proven system to grow your Amazon business. Go to that video and I'll show you how easy it all can be.